always, almost every single day, having big talks with these people about how we're not going to keep their secrets for them, and how they should just be telling the other person what's up. A lot of you would say that I don't deserve this. Maybe
you don't.
Right. God knows I feel like just the luckiest person in the world. This is what I was talking about in Love, a video essay. Love is about knowing that there are things wrong with you and turning those negative feelings into positive ones by working on your problems together. Sure, maybe I don't deserve love, but I have it. And besides, love isn't about deserving things. You don't earn another person's love. She loves me, and that's her choice, and I've got to live up to it.
No, no, you don't have to worry about earning someone's love. You have to worry about earning someone's trust when you do shit like what you've done.
Maybe all of this pushing people to be honest stuff looks hypocritical of me, but god damn it, I'd rather be a hypocrite than be wrong. And all of the—
I'm sorry, what? Okay, sorry, this breaks literally the opposite of how I've operated my entire life. Hold on.
Of me, but god damn it, I'd rather be a hypocrite than be wrong.
Huh? No! The answer is you're supposed to be wrong and admit you're wrong. You're not supposed to be the hypocrite. People don't respect hypocrites. People don't like them. That's manipulative.
And all of this—
that's a manipulative mindset.
Is the reason that these people, this new family of mine, have come to trust me so deeply. That's
where they fucked up. You found people that are willing to see your shitty behavior as normal. Don't say that hurts. Please don't say that. You're gonna scare me.
And that they should be more honest with each other. It's the reason that they trust me when I say I'm having vertigo problems, and that I'll get around to doing my chores later once the sun—
They shouldn't trust you. You have done everything to not let them trust you.
Goes down and it's less hot out. Hell, my crusading for open communication is—
Right? What have I been doing? I should have just been building a fucking echo chamber this whole fucking time. Jesus. Man, that would have been better. Like, holy. I hate it here, I hate it here, I hate it here.
Even gone the other way every now and then. My girlfriend has had
woes me,
problems
boo,
every once in a while with feeling like
I'm trying not to rub my face as much. I've been noticing that I've been rubbing my face and touching my face a lot more, and I feel like it's gonna cause me to get wrinkles. I'm trying to not do it as much.
Like, her emotions—
I know, really silly and lame.
It's taken a lot of convincing from me to get her to open up about some of her own negative emotions when it comes to certain topics. Just as she did for me, I've had to push her here and there for her to open up about a lot of things, and
I don't like the sound of that.
Well, talking about her feelings. And just as I experienced, the proposal of totally open communication has made us both feel so much more secure in the relationship. I gotta go pick her up. But speaking of proposals, one thing that I absolutely cannot relate to anymore is the old cliche of somebody deciding that they want to marry somebody, and then keeping that a secret for multiple months while they save up for a ring and plan out the perfect way to propose to them. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand being able to keep something that huge from somebody.
Oh, really? Because you, kept an affair from your partner for, a while. You really couldn't, you couldn't... Really? Yeah, right?
I'm gonna drive to her work. I'll get back to you in just a minute. The five of us were sitting on the porch. They were all drinking, but I was sober as always when I looked up at my girlfriend and realized,
of course, as always.
I'm ready for this. The communication and trust between us was all I really needed in order to know that we were—
Yeah, by the way, the five of them. Let's not brush over what was literally just said. The 5 of them. That's wild. All her girlfriend and girlfriend's friends
weren't gonna end up like that old couple I talked about earlier. I didn't have a ring or a big fancy plan, but I proposed to her, and she said yes. We'll be getting married in a few months. This woman who taught me to be honest and taught me that what they don't know can...
I also really fucking hate this whole, like, holding the mic.
Still hurt them, and taught me that there's a doorway...
Like in your car shit.
Opening in my lead head is my fiance now. And it all stemmed from yet another little feeling that I couldn't keep secret for more than a little bit. More than 10 seconds. And you know what? After watching through this whole series, you might all say that I have a really strange way of expressing myself, but god damn it.
I wish you didn't express. I wish you didn't, genuinely.
Anything. Have a good night at work.
Very strange. We're gonna watch this last one, Early Impressions of Motherhood. We're gonna see how long I can make it. Hey mom, you should talk to me first if you're gonna watch this. Oh, okay, hold on. I need to finish this bowl before we start this, dude. Oh, this is the okay. All right, here. Finale time. Oh, look, another stupid fucking aspect change, ratio change. Great.
When I was a little kid, one of the children's books that my mom kept around for me was Giving Tree by...
I will say, the vocal training has gotten better. All right, so the time that has passed from the honesty video to this is a month.
L. Silverstein. I remember liking the illustrations, and I was a big fan of exploring the woods and climbing.
I think though that this is like a... Come on.
The trees around my
neighborhood. Or up here
so
is more fan for their
really
content.
Gravitated towards the book. It's a pretty contentious little poem about a tree that gives and gives and gives into a boy until eventually she has nothing left to give. I didn't think much of it when I was a little kid, but rereading it as an adult, I'm forced to wonder why my mom gravitated towards that book in particular. Would you believe me if I said that my fiancé and I had a 19 and a 20-year-old pair of kids? Well, that my fiancé and I had a 19 and a 20-year-old pair of kids?
Yeah. Yep. You heard that right. We'll listen to it for a third time here real quick.
Gravitated towards that book in particular. Would you believe me if I said that my fiancé and I had a 19 and a 20-year-old pair of kids? Well, it's complicated, seeing as I'm only 26, but we do.
Yeah, the math doesn't really math up very well, I'm gonna be real.
For the past couple of months, found family has been a pretty prevalent theme in my videos. This idea of people I've met and become friends with taking on the role of family members in my life. This could be something as traditional and familiar as a girlfriend that you live with and see every morning as you wake up.
This is, again, it's intentional. It's to like make her appear a lot more like abrasive, enlightened, and like this is supposed to make her not look bad. This is supposed to be like, look, guys, I know the honesty video was really dark and like a really like, really, deep conversation we had. Here's something that's better, a lighter note about my life now. Like, keep in mind that these are all like about her life. Yeah, basically, yeah.
Up and every night
in a shorter way, yes.
A roommate who's like a sister to you. Typically, though, it takes the form of a friend group who you love as if they were a family. Good times, bad times, sickness and health, depressed phases, financial distress, car troubles, drama, it doesn't matter. Most people who find themselves in relationships like these are trying to make up for the dysfunctional families that they grew up in. And so whatever happens to a found family member, however they grow and change, found families are supposed to stick together and support each other no matter what, in the same way that they wish their biological families had been capable of. At least, that's how sacredly I view the found family dynamic. Though it's worth clarifying that trauma is not a prerequisite to having a found family, a lot of the time it can be a pretty big motivating factor in seeking that sort of dynamic in your adulthood. While I think it's pretty uncommon for specific familial roles like mom, grandpa, or uncle to be established within a found family, that isn't unheard of either. Well, one day my fiancé and I, along with the two youngest in the household, were going to the grocery store to pick up what we would need for dinner. My girl and I were both in a pretty bad mood, but these two were just running around all full of energy, grabbing all the snacks and candy that they could carry to the register.
A 19 and 20-year-old, by the way that she's describing them. Keep in mind, she's talking about a 19 and 20-year-old.
They got so distracted that they even lost track of us and had to look all around the grocery store to find us again.
Yet again, taking on far more responsibility and then putting expectations onto herself, and then being like confused on why.
Once they finally did, the youngest, this 19-year-old boy, called us Mom and Mom. That little joke bolstered by...
Oh God, okay, I'm reeling it back 2 minutes because I need you to be here for every fucking second of this. No, it's okay. I want you locked in on the finale of this. This is the last video we're watching. I want you to lock in on this because, man, this is the keynote content right here. You'll have to go back and watch the video prior, but...
When I was a little kid, one of the children's books that my mom kept around for me was The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. I remember liking the illustrations, and I was a big fan of exploring the woods and climbing the trees around my neighborhood, so I really gravitated towards the book. It's a pretty contentious little poem about a tree that gives and gives and gives unto a boy, until eventually she has nothing left to give. I didn't think much of it when I was a little kid, but rereading it as an adult, I'm forced to wonder why my mom gravitated towards that book in particular.
I mean, I liked that book too. I liked Shel back in the day, yeah. Where the Sidewalk Ends, I love that one.
Would you believe me if I said that my fiancé and I had a 19 and a 20-year-old pair of kids? Well, it's complicated, seeing as I'm only 26, but we do. For the past couple of months, I'm gonna pause it real quick so that me can maybe take that in for a second. 19 and a 20-year-old pair of kids.
Oh.
And my mom gravitated towards that book in particular.
I love you for that, Pete. Okay, lock in.
Would you believe me if I said that my fiancé and I had a 19 and a 20-year-old pair of kids? Well, it's complicated, seeing as I'm only 26, but...
I'll just let that sit in for a second. So... Nope. No? Nope. I'm gonna already tell you nope. It hurts. Nope, nope, nope. You might be familiar with this, but like the like elder gays adopting baby gays. Does that like kind of ring a bell for you, Hertz? I'm sure Bean's seen it in the trans community where you have like a, yeah. Okay. That's the vibe. Yep. It's very common in the trans community. Unfortunately, I have a non-binary friend that like has been known to take in baby trans and baby baby NBs and help. But yeah, okay. So you're gonna kind of get the vibe of like what this person's trying to like this dynamic. Yeah. I mean, like, I'm here for trans individuals looking out for other trans individuals, but like when it gets to the scale that we're about to hear about, it's a whole different story.
We do. For the past...
See, I actually have kind of been the elder trans the entire time with any of the friends that have been around.
Couple of months, found family has been a pretty prevalent theme in my videos. This idea of people I've met and become friends with taking on the role of family members in my life. This could be something as traditional and familiar as a girlfriend that you live with and see every morning as you wake up and every night as you go to sleep, or a roommate who's like a sister to you. Typically, though, it takes the form of a friend group who you love as if they were a family. Good times, bad times, sickness and health, depressed phases, financial distress, car troubles, drama, it doesn't matter. Most people who find themselves in relationships like these are trying to make up for the dysfunctional families that they grew up in. And so whatever happens to a found family member, however they grow and change, found families are supposed to stick together and support each other no matter what, in the same way that they wish their biological families had been capable of. At least, that's how sacredly I view the found family dynamic. Though it's worth clarifying that trauma is not a prerequisite to having a found family, a lot of the time it can be a pretty big motivating factor in seeking that sort of dynamic in your adulthood. While I think it's pretty uncommon for specific familial roles like mom, grandpa, or uncle to be established within a found family, that isn't unheard of either. Well, one day my fiancé and
I switched over to the scene because I want Hertz to see how fucking good I'm doing right now.
The two youngest in the household were going to the grocery store to pick up what we would need for dinner. My girl and I were both in a pretty bad mood.
I know how to...
These two
Pig's pretty easy to play,
energy, grabbing
if I'm going to be
all the
honest.
snacks and candy that they could carry to the register.
It's really easy to scale.
They got so distracted that they even lost track of us and had to look all around the grocery store to find us again. Once they finally did, the youngest, this 19-year-old boy, called us Mom and Mom. That little...
Let's just let that sink in, as well as keep in mind the person telling us this is 26. And all intentional, by the way, just want to make sure we're clear on that front. And we did not forget, this is all intentional. This has all been intentional all along. Justify this kind of behavior.
Joke bolstered by the...
And the behavior we saw in the honesty video. Bean, I want you, after stream, when you get a chance, go watch that video. I would love to hear your thoughts. It would be fantastic for me. I'll be honest.
obvious aesthetic similarities of two kids running amok while the fiancé and I spent upwards of $50 to feed them and the rest of the family for the night felt different to me. Never in my life have I been called mother to someone unless there was some sort of sexual connotation at play, but that's not what this was. Weirdly enough, it felt more like it was his way of saying...
Also, mother in a sexual connotation is such a weird, specific word.
Thank you for cooking for
Maybe
us
that's
tonight,
just
and
me.
Thank you for putting up with my high energy. We both laughed it off, but there was a part in my fiancé and I's minds that really appreciated it. Being in a crappy
Yeah, like, oh my god, you have to pay and feed your kids? Oh my god.
mood, but going out of our way to take care of these two innocent people, it felt like something new that my fiancé and I could bond over, something we hadn't experienced together before. If we're a family and her and I are the oldest and these two are the youngest, then yeah, I guess we're moms together. It's a cute thing to be able to say about my girlfriend and I. Mind you, this was before I ever proposed to her, so it was a little bit of a step for us, honestly. Well, as the weeks went on, our boy was calling us mom and mom more often. It got to the point where he felt like he was being disrespectful when he called us by our actual names, and now it's weird when I do hear him say them. I don't think I've actually heard him say Penny in months.
Oh wait, we haven't gotten to the weird, super weird part yet.
The next thing I know, we're...
That's right, we're still on just the base family dynamic. Right, okay, I'll stop.
Giving him all sorts of advice, and...
No, 19 and 20 are the ages of her kids.
making sure he doesn't stay up too late when he has work the next day.
This is a 19-year-old.
Making sure he eats enough, teaching him all sorts of life lessons about being trans.
Yeah. No, there's no actual kids involved in this. This is, thankfully, there's not a single kid involved in this. Minor.
He only transitioned about a month prior to all of this.
Just baby trans
even
people.
Going into some sexual education stuff when necessary, as his homeschooling has completely robbed him of all sorts of information.
People heard that, right? I didn't just hear that. I wasn't the only one, right?
Transitioned about a month prior to all of this, and even going into some sexual education stuff when necessary.
Okay, yeah, no, I heard it right. I heard it right the first time, yep. Okay. Okay.
As his homeschooling has completely robbed him of all sorts of information about how his body works is honestly scary. So, that sexual education thing, that really sounds like innuendo, right? Well, I'll be the first to say that when I first met him, I thought we were just going to be friends with benefits or something.
No!
After all, my fiancé and I are in an open relationship. It definitely wasn't off the table as an option.
I forgot, it got weirder!
But as time went on and he came to us for more and more advice,
oh no!
and we started taking more and more of an interest in his well-being and development, that motivation and him and I's relationship pretty quickly vanished from my mind. Suddenly,
Oh, that's... You think that's it? You think they just cheated? Oh, honey. I'm gonna have to have you come back after you watch the honesty video all the way through. Because, it'll probably take you less time. That's water under the bridge. Because we were on that bridge for like an hour and a half. I'm gonna be real. We were on that bridge for a long time. There was a lot of water.
Exactly as I would if I were home alone. He really did.
But I will gladly have a conversation with you tomorrow on your stream about it. Like dead ass. I will give you all kinds of fucking content. Yes, wait. How long is okay? Star Wars episode 8. Oh my god, that was 2.5 hours. That was 2.5 hours.
see us as his mothers, and we, with a little bit of time...
2.5, actually. Oh, man. If anyone ever says that I don't do any commentary for my video, for the content that I do, they can munch my fucking box.
I started to see him as our son. He wasn't just a friend, he was like...
That's funny.
Well, he was my boy. That's the crazy thing.
That's so funny.
In every relationship I've ever had, I was either focused on being a good partner or being a good friend. And in almost every friendship I've had since my later teens, the possibility of fostering a sexual dynamic has always been floating around somewhere in my mind. This young man, though, he only showed me a new type of love. One that I...
Yes, but I will say, this kind of content always brings me this weird type of joy. I don't know how else to describe it.
As a romantic partner, but I'd never loved as a mother before. I've never been in a position where I feel like I'm willing to damage a friendship with somebody for the sake of helping them grow as a person. But that's where I am with him. A lot of the time, I'm not his friend. I'm his mother, and he needs to stop getting in fights with his sister and never steal one of my cigarettes again because he's too young and handsome to be doing that to his body.
Stop with literally all of that. Please stop. I want to peel my skin off. I want to peel my skin off over the fact that I just heard that whole fucking sentence. I'm not backtracking either, because I do not want to hear that sentence ever fucking again. I'm going to skip it 5 seconds forward so I don't have to hear the end of that sentence, if I'm going to be honest.
Personally turbulent phase in this whole relationship.
I'm going to have to go take a boiling hot shower after this stream. I'm not even joking.
So many different fears in my head.
And I showered this afternoon.
Was I taking this too seriously? Was I diminishing his agency as an adult and infantilizing him?
Yes!
Did he just start leaning into the mom?
All of that. Literally all of that. Every fucking ounce of that.
As a lighthearted goof, but now he felt like he was in too deep for all of this to back out. Was I in the wrong for having such a deep emotional stake in him seeing himself as my son?
Yes!
Well, that layer of fear diminished with time.
To every single ounce of that, yes! Yeah, my water heater runs quite hot.
It's like me fixing up his car for him.
Yes, I don't blame
giving
him.
him rides to work while his car was still out of commission. Teaching him how to replace a flat tire, or my fiance and I letting him share a bed with us when he was too anxious to sleep alone.
Oh, no, stop. You're fucking these people's lives over. Stop it. Stop it, please. I should have prepped this earlier.
I'm Michael Jordan. Stop it. Get some help.
I'm keeping that ready.
Or taking him out on car rides to try and talk to him and give him life lessons that his biological parents and youth group upbringing completely failed to give him. And the way he started to trust us in different ways than he trusts the other people in the house. All of it helped to dissuade those